I'm Chad Cass. I'm from Acoustic Sounds, and here today we're going to talk to you about quality record pressings. We started quality record pressings in 2010, 2011 because we were having a hard time getting our records pressed. We had been using RTI, which is really one of the world's best pressing plants, and we're very good friends with Don and Rick, and worked with them and still work with them and love their pressing plant. But we just couldn't get enough records, from us needing more records to them having more orders. And now it's even worse. So, looking back, I guess this was a good thing we did in 2010. So we'll just talk about some of the records that we're pressing and that we're proud of, and just so people know what records, quality records pressings press. We're also going to do more videos inside quality record pressings. And there's a lot more neat stuff we have to come. But we'll just start talking about the records real quick. And so the Beatles came to us to press their records, which is a very, very proud moment. We're very pleased and happy and proud and don't want to let them down. So one of the records we press is the Beatles' Abbey Road. Stays on the press. We just can't seem to press enough of them. It's just a constant top seller. Beatles' Abbey Road. Beatles' White Album, which happens to be one of my favorite Beatles albums, that stays on the press. And Universal sent us this thank you. Thank you to the outstanding support of the Beatles' White Album. Please accept this deluxe LP box as a token of our appreciation from the Beatles and the UMG. Very nice to get this from them. We display this proudly. We have a great relationship with Universal, and we press a lot of their records. We license a lot of their records. We're doing the Universal Acoustic Sounds Verve series. These will be shipping any day. Here's a Stoughton jacket of Ray Charles. Genius plus soul equals jazz. Listen. That's like opening a bottle of wine for those of us that don't drink. Beautiful jacket. Best jackets money can buy. They're also the most expensive. But, like we have people saying, make more affordable records, man. Make more affordable records. We really believe that we are making affordable records. These retail at $35. We feel they beat the originals, whether it's the jacket, the plating, the pressing, everything, And it's just very quiet, flat, great sounding, great mastering, as good as you can get. So we do think we are making affordable records. When I first reissued my first record in 1990, it was $25. Then when RTI started doing 180-gram pressings in 91, 92, we increased the price to $30. That was without a tip-on jacket. So in 1992, we were charging $30 for our reissues. Now we've upgraded the jacket, and I think the inflation has changed. So we do think we're into quality, and quality costs money. It takes more time, takes more effort, it costs more money, and that's what we do, and that's what we're about. And obviously a lot of people understand that, quality costs money, it takes time, and appreciate that. And those who don't understand, there's used records all over the world, you know what I mean? But you get what you pay, and you can't get a better jacket than this. and it costs what it cost. We're very proud of it. Kevin Gray mastered this one. We got the tapes, Ray Charles' original tape. I guess when Ray Charles recorded for Impulse, which was the second Impulse they did, he retained ownership. So when this was licensed, you had to go back to Ray Charles' estate. And Kevin Gray cut this off the original master, Ray Charles' personal master, that had Braille on it. Great title, beautiful record. Be shipping any day. Here's another one. We had the master tape on this. A lot of people was questioning if we had the master on this one. We did. We showed the pictures of it. But as always, the proof is in the listening. If you listen to this record, it sounds great, then it is great. A lot of people ask if we're using the original analog tapes. All of these records are from analog recordings. I will not remaster from a digital source. I've been doing this for 35 years. There's a reason that Universal came to me and asked me to oversee this series, because I'm only going to do the right thing. You know, there's so many great albums. If they don't have the master and we had to use a digital, I'll just pass on that title. We'll pick another one. Most of our customers know me. They trust me. I think that at this point I've done enough to where I've gained the trust. And so, you know, when I see all the comments, was this from the original or is this analog? You know, sometimes it's something that I kind of irritating. Although, you know, I know that, you know, from the major labels, there's a lot of mistrust. But on this series, I'm overseeing it. Now, almost all have been analog masters. Some, the one-off tape copy is better shaped than the master. Some, the masters, we don't know where they are. But that is very, very few that's happening on. Most of them we have the original analog masters. And if we choose to use a tape copy because that's all they have and it's a great record and it sounds great, if the master's gone for whatever reason, we have a really good tape copy, then that now becomes the master. Then I choose, hey, does it sound great? Is this a great album? Should we pass on this? And then I make an executive decision at that point. But mostly it's been masters. There's been a few cases where it's a one-off master tape. And again, the proof is in the listening. If it sounds great, it's great. And at some point you got to trust what I'm saying and listen and judge with your own ears. But the way the series is going, you know, it's going. We haven't been able to get the Coltrane Love Supreme back on the press. We're here. It's going on the secondary market for 2, 3, 4 times the price, and it's worth it. I mean, it's just fantastic. Came out great. They're coming out with this Impulse. It's their 60th year. We just pressed this for them. Beautiful box. Beautiful box set. What they've done is you know, some Coltrane, of course. It's the house that Coltrane built. Pharoah Sanders, Ahmad Jamal, Alice Coltrane, John Handy, Archie Shepp, Charles Mingus. They tried to pick a nice representation of the orange and black label, the house that Train built. And that's coming out very soon too, probably any day. Another person that I owe a lot of gratitude to is the Hendrix estate. When I told John McDermott from the Hendrix estate that we were opening up a pressing plant, he said, Chad, the day you're ready, give me a call. I'm bringing all my business to you. I'm like, well, John, I haven't made one record yet. He goes, I trust you, and I know that you're going to be making the best records on the planet. I said, John, it's a very hard thing to do, and I appreciate you have more confidence in me than I have in myself. He said, just let me know when you're ready. And he stuck to his word. When we were ready, he sent all the Hendrix to us, and we've been pressing. And Hendrix, our number one client, and the Beatles and Hendrix, boy, they're fighting to be number one. But one thing I have to say is Hendrix was with us from day one. We appreciate that confidence and that support, and we do everything we can to make the Hendrix records the best possible records possible. And all the Hendrix are pressed at quality record pressings. We're very proud of it, and we love the relationship. And we have some of our competitors. Sometimes they'll be like, "How did you license the RU Experience? Access Bold as Love." And I'll be like, "Who did you call?" I said, "Well, here's their phone number. It only took me 20 years before we were able to do this." So it's like, I know, it takes a long time. You have to prove yourself, and we really appreciate their business. But here you go. They're really dedicated to bringing y'all the Hendrix in the highest quality. Great music. They want the pressings to be great. That's why they come to us. Here's a couple of Hendrix that we press for them. Access Bold as Love, and we stock at Acoustic Sounds. Electric Ladyland. RU Experience. Again, all the Hendrix records we press for the Hendrix estate, and we really appreciate it. Here's a box set we did for them, a beautiful box set. And all of these we have at acousticsounds.com. Here's another label that we press for. It's called Nouvelle. They went to New Orleans. They were there right as COVID hit, like in early March 2020. And they recorded Ellis Marsalis and his son Jason. And Ellis ended up dying of COVID not long after, but they were in New Orleans recording this stuff as COVID was hitting. I flew out of New Orleans on March 9th. I went to a funeral, and I count my blessings that I didn't get it, because it was like right after Mardi Gras, things were going crazy. But they recorded all this stuff at that time. So Ellis Marsalis, they did one of Irma Thomas, Little Freddie King, the blues guy, and John Cleary. And they only always sell direct to consumer. Since we press the records, they let us sell to our Acoustic Sounds customer. So this comes as a set. Here's another set they did. This is heavy. It's different artists. Rufus Reid and other artists. Beautiful box. They let us sell this one as well. That's Nouvelle. It's one of those record club or record memberships. Another one of those record club record memberships that we do is for Vinyl Me Please. They're out of Denver, and we became friends with them, and we invited them down, and we're trying to educate them on upgrading their quality. And a lot of times I talk to people about this, and it goes through one ear and out the other. But Cameron at Vinyl Me Please listened. We had a couple of dinners. I said, we're only in Salina, 6.5 hour drive. Come down here, let me show you everything. And he got it. Now he uses Ryan Smith and Bernie Grunman and Chris Bellman and, all the best mastering engineers. And he uses us to press as many records as we can press for him. He's got a lot of, they're selling so many records, so many different artists, we can't press everything for them. But they let us press their classic, which is their soul and jazz and funk label, their classic. we did this Stax box for him, sold out like that. Beautiful box. We did the Grateful Dead, which they let us sell. This is my personal copy. This thing sold out, and they're going to be repressing it. But this is my copy, and this thing is heavy. Turntable mat, stickers. Talks about pressing this at Quality Record Pressings on here. Here's the beautiful set. Grateful Dead story. Yeah, that thing, man, when it hit the shelf, they also sell direct to consumer only, but we sell to them and we press for them, so they let us sell to our customers. So, you know, these relationships we're building at Quality Record Pressings and Acoustic Sounds, where they press for us and they let us sell things that they don't let anybody else sell. It's really a lovely synergy and working together with these people, and we're always about the quality. We're trying to improve the quality. We're trying to convince them to improve quality. And again, I think VMP and Nouvelle has got it. You know, they understand. They want us to press their records. And to me, I want all records to sound great. We had an employee, Clark Williams, once said, you know, Acoustic Sounds is saving the world from bad sound. And that's really, in a nutshell, what we're trying to do. I want all records to sound better. I want my competitors, you know, other reissue labels, because we sell everybody's records, and I really want to hear my favorite artist sound the best. I can't do every record. So if somebody else gets Miles Davis, I want it to come out great, because I want my copy to be great, and I want my customer's copy to, the better all this is and the better it sounds, the more successful our hobby will be. Here's something we did for Uni. Now, 2 of these records were pressed in Europe. I think 2 of these records in this box Warner Brother owns. So Warner pressed the 2 and shipped it to QRP, and we put it in the box, and QRP pressed the rest of them. We still have some of these boxes. I can't believe it that we actually have these. They're probably out of print, but I mean, it's the top Tom Petty, beautiful box. All of these were mastered. Most of them were mastered by Chris Bellman or Bernie Grunman off the original analog tapes, and we pressed them. You know, if you want Tom Petty and you want these albums, you're not going to get it better. You're not going to get it better, and it's very reasonable. Here's another thing we did for Uni. The band. Music from the Big Pink. The band. Great box. We do a lot of pressings for Gillian Welch and Dave Rollins. This thing I highly recommend. Sounds awesome. Great music, great sound. They're fanatics. Dave is a fanatic, David Rollins, and Gillian Welch, very nice. And we press their records, and this is highly recommended. That first song, Look at Miss Ohio, great demo, great music. Here's them again, Gillian, David. And here's David. They make the best jackets. You know, they really research everything. They're fanatical about their own music. And we've gotten to know them, and we appreciate their business, and we appreciate their quest for quality. Here's more Vinyl Me Please, and we should have these at acousticsounds.com. Coco Taylor, Big Bill Brunzi, Donald Byrd. Townes Van Zandt, great. And James Booker from New Orleans. This guy is awesome, man. Awesome. He's in the same class as Professor Longhair. Another label we press for is Reference Recordings. Very high quality record label. Very proud to press their records. This Arnold Overture sounds killer. The Doug MacLeod is great. Doug's the nicest, one of the nicest blues guys. If you ever get a chance to see him live, he's unbelievable. He's very personable, funny, got great stories, and this is a great album. Definitely a great, great album. Mary Gauthier, she's also from Louisiana, where I'm from. We've had her perform here in Salina in the blues, in the church, our Blue Heaven Studios. Highly recommended album, great sounding album. I tried to get some of the reviewers to review it back when it came out, and just too many records to review them all. But I tell you, this is a great album. She's very raw, she's very real, she's very good, and the sound is great. Highly recommended we press this. Chris Stapleton. I'm not a huge fan of New Country, but I don't consider this guy New Country, man. He's great. This record sounds great. They pressed, I think, over 100,000 of this record. It just stays on the press. And there's a volume 2 as well. We pressed all of the Kiss albums. I think there was like 35 of them for Universal. Destroyer and Kiss Alive. We also pressed Peter Frampton's last 2 albums. He played in Salina, and we got to meet him, and we're friends with his bass player, Stanley Sheldon, who's from Kansas, who played on Frampton Comes Alive. And here's Frampton's latest album that we just pressed. And they told us the artist requested us. So when that happens, you know, we try to, if the artist, Peter Frampton, requests your pressing plan, it's kind of hard to say no. Love that guy. The first band I ever seen was Humble Pie in, I think, 1972. He wasn't with the band anymore at that time, but Steve Marriott, wow. We also pressed all the Rush albums, Moving Pictures, 2112, and they stay on the press. We pressed for the Avett Brothers. Still have some of these for Ramsar Records. Dolph at Ramsar Records is a great guy. Really loves quality. He's a real audiophile. Got an awesome system. Real pleasure to work with. The Avett Brothers are great. I've seen them live. They played in Salina a couple times. And I've been going to concerts since I was 11 years old. I've seen Zeppelin twice. I've seen the Stones 3 or 4 or 5, 6 times. I've never seen an audience respond to a band in any concert, not even close, to the way the audience responds to the Avett Brothers. They stood up from the first song to the last song, singing every lyric, knowing every song. They had fans from 10 years old to 90 years old and everywhere in between. And they loved them, and it was just, the bass player is somewhat of an audio, I mean, he's an audiophile. We got him, just hooked him up with a turntable. Nice guys, great. I've never seen people enjoy a concert more than if you get a chance to see the Avett Brothers, go see them, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We pressed the Cash records for Universal. They made a box of it. I didn't pull out the box because I think we're out of it. But all the Cash American stuff we've been pressing for Universal. We pressed the Sam Cooke for Abco. He's great, and we also reissued on our label the Sam Cooke Night Beat, which is unbelievable. It sounds like he's in the room when he sings Lost and Looking. I mean, it's just amazing. The Sam Cooke. We also pressed Division Bell for Pink Floyd. And so those are just some of the things we pressed at Quality Record Pressings that we sell at Acoustic Sounds. Explain some of the relationships. We have these at Acoustic Sounds. There's an icon on our website that you can click, and we'll put that in the comments below, where it pulls up everything Quality Records pressed that we have in stock. And a lot of people want more stuff that we pressed, and we think we're one of the best pressing plants in the world. RTI is a very good pressing plant. There are some very good pressing plants in Europe. A lot of them, though, they polish the part, which is it's kind of a way to make a record quieter, but it takes some of the information off of the record. I don't want to name names. You can see it in the lead out groove if there's some polishing, the polishing went on. It makes for a quieter record, but it does take away some of the high-end information. We don't do that. RTI doesn't do that. We don't believe in polishing the metal parts. But if you can click on the Quality Record Pressing icon and you can see what we press. There's a saying in the record business, the record pressing business, it's not hard to make a good record. What's hard is making them all good. It's all about consistency. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done. Don at RTI told me, he said, Chad, don't do it. You won't believe how hard it is. There's not a lot of profit in this business. A lot of the parts break, and it's very expensive. And everything he said came true. If I'd have known how hard it really was, I probably wouldn't have done it, but I'm glad that we did, because it's very gratifying and satisfying, and we're making really great records, and we're real proud. And if I didn't have Gary Sahlstrom working here, I would have nothing. I mean, it's all about Gary and what Gary's done. He's one of the best plating guys in the world, and he's all about quality, and I'm very fortunate to have him working at Quality Record Pressings. And without him, we really would have nothing but a bunch of metal. Want to shout out to RTI. If you see an RTI sticker, or if RTI pressed it, you can feel pretty confident that it's a good pressing. And we've been friends with them since I think since '88. They help us, and we appreciate that. And like I said, every now and then there's going to be a record that isn't perfect. You know what I mean? And it's funny though. It's like somebody gets one bad record and they just freak out, and it's like, hey, we're humans. This is a process. We try our best. Sometimes, a record gets through that has a few ticks. Sometimes the customer's very, very particular. We try our best, and if there's a bad record, we try to replace it. If not, we'll give your money back. So subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel, and subscribe to the email list at Acoustic Sounds, and I think you'll be in good shape. We'll try to share all the great information and fun information. There's so many records that I have in queue, in line that I can't share the information with you quite yet, but there's going to be some great days for our hobby, and we appreciate your support. We reinvest every dollar you spend into trying to upgrade the quality of our hobby, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much.